Good morning this morning. Stand up for what is right, the trending. Recently, in an interview with BBC Igbo, the CEO of Peace, Barrister ALEN ONYEMA, made a controversial statement. He said that the hate against the Igbo is as a result of their lifestyle, that when people made a little rich or wealth or progress, they started showing off, that it made other people to hate the Igbos. Now, listen to that statement, and then we'll proceed. Listen. So that was the voice of Chief Alex ONYEMA saying, this interprets when people make little wealth, the Igbos make little wealth, richness, progress, they started showing off, that it makes other people to hate them. That is the cause of the hatred on the Igbos. I want to prove him wrong from logical reasoning, logical facts and evidence, analysis and findings. First of all, let us hear the voice of Sarduana of Sokoto, late AHMADU BELLO, in 1964 during an interview with BBC journalists. Then we continue. Now we know why they hate the Igbos. If that is the same reason or the same opinion of Chief ALEN ONYEMA, and then we continue. Be the judge. So listen, let us hear.
Add on top of that the North's general hate of the East, and you can start to get the picture of the sort of tribal tension Nigeria was heading towards.
The one thing I've noticed, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have I always call it obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village or a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they'll try to emerge as headmen of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our modernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 Northerners in our civil service here. And I tried to have it more. I'm sure whichever government of the day might be, it will feel rather embarrassed, and it might even lead to bloodshed.
Northernization.
This image, the idea, sir, of all people in all regions in Nigeria being citizens of one country.
Well, it might, but
that was the voice of Sarduana of Sokoto. The point I want to make you here is the reason for the hate. Okay, he said they are the type of people that dominate, that try to emerge ahead in the camp, even if they are made a laborer in the camp. He never said they force themselves. He never said they intimidate. He never said they ring themselves. He never said they manipulate themselves. He said they try, they struggle. This is resoluteness. This is hard work. This is strong will. I think last time I checked, these are potentials quite celebrating, emulating, and in fact, the best you can get from any human being at all. So I don't want to take much of your time. That was the voice of Sarduana of Sokoto, led AHMADU BELLO, preaching Northernization agenda even if it leads to bloodshed. And thereafter they push for Islamization agenda, Islamization agenda, which is always intelligent, found out and investigated and found out that it's true. It was true. And a date has been chosen for that to be announced and to become effective. And they tried to preempt it. That was January 15th revolution by January 15 boys, which they termed Igbo coup, which wasn't actually, because they were acting Nigerians to save Nigeria from Islamization, okay, forceful Islamization. And that story, they've been turning it up and down, but I still have the story, I still have the archive, I still have evidence, everything about that. A confession made by one of the January 15 boys, somebody who played a part in the revolution in 1966, January 15. That is not why I'm saying this. You've seen the reason for the hate, not what ALEN ONYEMA said. Let us go. So after all they did, the Northernization agenda continues when the Islamization agenda failed. Okay, as a result of the coup, 1966, January 1966 revolution, the Northernization agenda continued, and since then the North has been in power. You know, coupled with the West, who have a good percentage, but it has been all about North. Okay, some Northerners, you know, they have what they call quota system. They are not well educated, they are not this, they have to give them privilege, they have to give them some waivers, okay? So if you have this, you don't go to school with same cutoff mark, you don't get admission with same cutoff mark with an Aboki, with an Hausa person or Yoruba or Fulani. Let's say Fulani is now from the North, precisely, not the Yorubas, okay? The Yorubas have their own thing because they're also playing part with the Northerners. So then after the pogrom, which they called war, they ripped off the Igbos from everything after the total destruction of the Igbo land, okay? They ripped them off everything, collected all their properties they have across Nigeria. If you have million in a bank account, all they were given was 20 pounds, no matter how much you had in your bank account. Then they started struggling. The Igbo land was as in shattered, completely destroyed from up to down. Okay, they started struggling, and they are where they are today. And the way they made little progress, they remember, oh, that was where I started. This is here am I. And somebody want to say, thank God, I thank God for everything. You hated him, okay? And you want to justify that. You are sleeping, and your name is registered into a lot of, registered into a lot of payrolls. You see ghost names of Northerners and all that. You occupied the power since 1960, and today, the highest percentage of poverty, illiteracy, disease is in the north. In the north, 95%. It is it's less than 5% in the east. In that same east that was shattered. Oh, come on. That potentials which live in Igbos are what make them, what kept them moving. Why are you hating and you're trying to say, let me tell you, Mr. Alex ONYEMA, you cannot lay down for your predator. You cannot please your predator. The only way you can please your predator is to lay down dead so that your predator will not stress himself eating your meal. That is it. Today, Alex ONYEMA has forgotten that currently now, as I'm talking to you, that flight ticket from Lagos to Asaba, Enugu, Owerri, is 250,000 to 300,000. But from St. Lagos to Abuja, Sokoto, is less than 150,000. Less than 150,000. But from that same Lagos, the distance is far, very far. Okay, but from just Lagos to East is 250 to 300,000. And Alex ONYEMA is speaking grammar. Alex ONYEMA is trying hard to please these people, to lay down his life for them, yet they will not be satisfied. So when I thank God for struggling to make it in life, and somebody who is sleeping to, wake up to see a lot in his bank accounts, sitting on the common patrimony of the entire country, and still have the 95% of poverty, you have got to question why I smile. I'm sorry for you, sir, but please mind your business and make some correction. Never dare you come on this motivational speaking or whatever any longer. You making a great mistake. Stand up for what is right.